Alrighty, so this is an implementation this week built out by Lucas, one of our senior developers here at Zenatta. And this implementation is all baked into Zoho CRM, and it's setting a next follow-up date controlled with some validation rules as part of a CRM deal flow. So our goal in this implementation was to automatically require the user to set a next follow-up date at all times where that stage of the deal is set to engaged. And now this could pretty easily be done in a more simple way, just with the layout rule, right, where you could require that field. But we had a specific requirement in this case that that follow-up date needs to always be in the future, which makes sense, and should never be more than 45 days into the future for a deal that is engaged. And so right out of the gate, the layout rule can require that that field is filled in, but it cannot validate what is put in, right? I could put in a date in 1995, right, if I wanted to, if we're just requiring that the field is filled in. And so Lucas had the idea here to use a validation rule. Validation rules can be used for lots of different things. And one kind of component of validation rules that I always forget is that they can actually be defined in code. So you can get really, really flexible about what you are validating against. And so really, if we think about this kind of 45 days in the future requirement, well, that's going to need to take into account what the current date is. And so it kind of points us directly to using a function, right, that can kind of refer to that current date dynamically. And so to do that, right, we just kind of pull up that function on a validation rule, make sure that it's filtered only where the stage is engaged, and then we're able to enforce that date being filled in, but also being filled in within our certain rule set, right? Meaning in the future and less than 45 days into the future. So some of our implementations go crazy and there's, multiple third-party applications and crazy stuff there. This is one that's more of a point solution, but it's a really nice solve for this use case because it's pretty reasonable, right, that the client wants this follow-up date within a certain period of time, right? If we set this follow-up date 1 year in the future for an engaged deal, they're probably not going to be engaged that far into the future. So nice implementation here by Lucas. Again, this date can now be used to send notifications to the team, set up tasks, trigger emails out to the client, really whatever you want to do with it once it has been filled in.
Super nice. Very, very nice, elegant solution.
Nice,
Yeah.
Nice.
One more time, Freddie.
Nice.
There you go. That was Greg at the end of the last Azaz episode. We kind of captured that, and I think that's going to be around for a little while. Excellent implementation.